Hello dear friends, I am very glad that you are watching this video. We are in the capital of Sweden in the city of Stockholm. Now the drone is flying over the old city which is called Gamla Stan. Stockholm has a rich history and culture, and its old town, Gamla Stan, is not just a part of the city, but a living open-air museum where every stone and every building tells its own unique story. Our walking tour will start from Västerlånggatan, from where we will explore the charming and unforgettable streets of the Gamla Stan district. Stockholm's old town, located on the island of Stadsholmen and surrounded by water on all sides. This part of the city creates a special atmosphere that seems to take us all back in time. Here, among the narrow streets and old buildings, you can feel the spirit of the times and imagine how people lived many centuries ago. The North German Gothic style, which had a strong influence on the architecture of the old town, is evident in every building. Gothic cathedrals, churches, and residential buildings all create a unique architectural ensemble in the city. The streets of the old town are paved with stone, which makes cycling difficult. Also, there are many hills in the city, and these two girls who were trying to climb the hill on cobblestones could not do it. The first mentions of Stockholm date back to the 13th century, and it is in the old town that numerous testimonies of this distant past have been preserved. Narrow cobblestone streets, old houses and churches, all this creates a unique atmosphere that attracts tourists from all over the world. One of the main attractions of Gamla Stan is Riksdag, the Swedish Parliament. This neo-Gothic building is a symbol of democracy and power in Sweden. Next to Riksdag is the Royal Palace, the official residence of the Swedish royal family. This palace, surrounded by well-kept gardens, is a fine example of 17th century architecture. The main square of the old town is no less interesting. Here you can see many shops, cafes, and restaurants offering traditional Swedish dishes. The square is surrounded by historical buildings, each of which has its own story. Another equally important landmark of the old town is Riddarholmen Church. Built in the 13th century, this church is one of the oldest buildings in Stockholm. Many famous Swedish kings and statesmen are buried here. Next to the church is Riddarholm Castle, built in the 14th century. Today, the castle houses a museum where you can learn about the history of Stockholm and Sweden. Another important landmark of the old town is the Stockholm Cathedral. This majestic cathedral was built in the 14th century and is one of the largest and most important churches in Sweden. It hosts religious services and also offers tours for tourists. In addition, the old town contains many other ancient buildings, such as the town hall Stadshuset, built in the 16th century, and St. Mary's Church, which was built in the 13th century. Now we are walking along the narrow streets of the old year. The narrow streets of the old city are a real labyrinth that attracts with its mystery. Here you can walk, enjoying the atmosphere of the past, and feel yourself a part of history. For the convenience of tourists, Gamla Stan has developed various tourist routes. They allow visitors to quickly and efficiently get acquainted with the main attractions of the area. One of the popular routes is the route through the historical center, which includes a visit to Riksdag, the Royal Palace, St. Nicholas Cathedral, and other significant places. This route allows tourists to get a complete picture of Gamla Stan and its history. Now we are approaching the statue, St. George and the Dragon statue. The St. George and the Dragon sculpture is located in Merchant Street in Gamla Stan. Unveiled on the 10th of October 1912, marking the anniversary of the Battle of Brunkeberg. By the way, look forward. There you will see small children from kindergarten, whom educators lead for a day. It seems to me that they still do not realize in what beautiful place they are every day. It is a bronze replica of Bernt Notke's wooden St. George and the Dragon, which is in Stockholm's Stortorget. It is dedicated to St. George, in particular the legend of St. George and the dragon. The sculpture was molded by Otto Meyer. It depicts the knight, sword raised, about to deliver the final blow to the dragon, which is lying prone on its back, having been lanced. In the Old City, one of the most picturesque streets of the Old City is Drottninggatan. This street runs through the center of the Old City and is one of the most popular among tourists. On this street, you can find many shops, cafes and restaurants, as well as see many old buildings. We will definitely reach this street. In this area, souvenir shops are located literally every 30 meters. In these stores, you can buy unique items that will be a great reminder of visiting Stockholm. For example, I bought several magnets and a wooden red horse, which is a special souvenir of Stockholm.
No, I'm just making do with that. I'm making do with what I had.
Life in the Old City flows its turn. Locals walk the streets, enjoying the calm and beauty of their city. Tourists walking along the streets add a special flavor and create a unique atmosphere. This is exactly the same red horse that I bought, only very large. An interesting souvenir, but quite expensive. The cost of a small horse starts at €20. There are many cafes and restaurants in the Old City where you can try traditional Swedish dishes. Here you can find a variety of delicacies, from Swedish meat dishes to fish delicacies. Many establishments offer not only food but also drinks, for example, glee, a traditional hot wine based on red wine with spices, which is especially popular in the cold season. We came to the central square of the Old City, Stortorget. On the right side of us is Nobel Prize Museum, where you can now see many children. Perhaps they came here on an excursion. In this, you can find out about Alfred Nobel and his contribution to science and culture. The museum presents exhibits related to the life and work of Nobel, as well as information about the Nobel Prize. I apologize that we did not stop and did not consider this area in more detail. At this time, the main event of the day is expected in Stockholm. Changing of the guard at the Royal Palace. I specially moved quickly so as not to be late to the beginning. Look forward, we are already very close to this place. Here, the majestic Royal Palace in Stockholm has a special atmosphere. Here, in front of numerous tourists and citizens, there is a solemn change of guard. This is not just a change of military. This is a real sight that attracts attention and is admirable. To the sounds of the march, minting a step, the guards pass by, as if revved pages of history. Their shape, dashed with medals and badges, sparkles in the sun, creating a feeling of a holiday. The change of guard is not only a tribute to traditions, but also the opportunity to see near-thrave defenders, this moment that remains in memory and makes the heart beat more often. Let's enjoy this beautiful and unforgettable event together. And later, we will definitely return to the central square of the Old City in order to plunge into its atmosphere again.
Kanal! Ja, löjtnant. Löjtnant pågående högvakt ur Norrlands legionregemente. Del 1 år. Uppfattat. Jag tar befälet. Ställföreträdare, ställa in sig. Ja, löjtnant. Station! Åt höger! Se!
In this event, National Guards, Horse Guards, gunners, and a military orchestra take part in this event. The acoustics of the court of the Royal Palace is magnificent. The military brass band creates a special atmosphere at these ceremonies. The military conductor, the vestibule, skillfully leads the military march. After presenting in the square, you can join the company of the guards. The mission of the Guard of the Royal Palace has been entrusted to the Swedish Life Guard, leading its history since 1521 and is considered one of the oldest existing regiments in the world. Currently, the Royal Guard has 60 people, whose duties include guard at the monarch of the residence in Stockholm. The honorary guard at the walls of the Royal Palace was founded by King Gustav I Vasa.
Regimenten, 42 soldater, 3 officerare, vaktchef löjtnant Hedberg. Tack! Inspektion! Avdelning åt höger, se! Avmarschera! Ja, kapten! Sjövakten! Höger om! Marsch!
I want to follow the military. Of course, it would be better to get around on the right side and look at the square from the palace, but going for the military is much more interesting. They don't let them into the square, but do not be discouraged. We can see everything that happens from afar. From here also a great look opens.
Avlastning! Halt! Rättning! Bravo! Boxen! Bell!
Let's go further. Now we will return to the old streets. The old city is not only a place for walking and inspecting attractions, but also a place where various holidays and events are held. For example, on the day of St. Lucia, which is celebrated on December 13th, festive events and concerts are held in the old city. Let's go to one of the narrow streets, which are so many in the old city. A walk along these streets will allow us to feel the spirit of the history and greatness of this area. Let's not forget that ordinary people live in the old city. I am sure that the girl who came out of the door of this old house is one of his residents. According to official figures, about 3,000 people permanently live in the old city of Stockholm. You know, despite the fact that the old city is known for its history and culture, there is also a nightlife. The city has many cafes, bars, and clubs where you can have fun. However, it is worth remembering that the old city is not only a place for entertainment, but also a place where history and culture are preserved. Therefore, enjoying the nightlife, do not forget that you are in a unique place that is worth saving for future generations. We again return to the central square of the old city, but on the other side. Stortorget is the most charming Stockholm area. Starting from the 13th century, this area has become the heart of Gamla Stan. From the early Middle Ages, this area was the central place of the meeting, and on market days, noisy trading activities were boiling here. Today, the square is mainly attracted by tourists, many of whom are taking a break here in their footswalks in one of the attractive cafes that borders on the square. Stortorget is lined with beautiful buildings erected during the 17th and 18th centuries. The western side of the area is perhaps the most picturesque and gives a good idea of how this city quarter looked during the heyday of Imperial Sweden in the 17th century.
There are no cobwebs.
As you can see, some houses are at the repair stage. This is a common practice. The houses are carefully looked after, trying to maintain the historical heritage of the country. This is the German church, sometimes called St. Gertrude's Church Evangelical Lutheran Church in the Old City. In the Middle Ages, this quarter was inhabited mainly by the Germans, hence the name German. The church was consecrated in honor of St. Gertrude Nivelskaya, abbess of the Benedictine monastery, Nivel in modern Belgium, and patroness of travelers. Let's enter the courtyard of the church and see how everything works there. Walking along the narrow streets of the old city, you can feel like part of the story and imagine how people lived many centuries ago. The old city of Stockholm is a place that should be visited by everyone who wants to learn more about the history and culture of Sweden. This is the Tyska Brunnsplan, is a small triangular public square in Gamla Stan, the old town in central Stockholm, Sweden. It is between the streets Svartmangatan and Shallagadsgatan, the former leading to Stortorget and the latter to Branda Tomten.
Fram till augusti har sommaren.
To the right of us is the school. Now there is a change and the children went outside to relax. For tourists who first visit Stockholm, these old streets seem part of the story. However, for local residents, including for these school children, they are simply places where they study and spend time. This is one of the famous streets of the old city, the photos of which can be seen on social networks. Let's take a walk along this street. We return to the square where we started this walking tour. Gamla Stan is a unique place where history comes alive. There is something for everyone here, from architectural monuments to museums, galleries and gastronomic experiences. Gamla Stan is a real living open-air museum that allows visitors not only to learn about the past, but also to feel it.
Hälsa Eva så mycket.
Det här är intressant. Vi är beredda att kolla på det här under maj månad eller juli.
Jag tror inte vi behöver.
It's time to say goodbye. Stockholm's Old Town is a place where history and modernity intertwine in a single stream. Here you can see old buildings, churches and castles that tell about the past, and at the same time feel the atmosphere of modernity. Please share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. And if you want to explore more urban areas from different countries, be sure to check out my next video. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell for more exciting content. Please subscribe and join membership.